New York was loud that night, cars honking, clubs glowing, people moving fast like they were running toward their next mistake. But inside Jim Jones' world, everything felt strangely calm to calm. Jim sat in his studio, headphones around his neck, staring at an unfinished track. The beat was fire, but he wasn't feeling it. Lately, he hadn't been feeling anything. His relationship with Chrissy had been shaky, unpredictable, almost like walking on glass. He kept avoiding the truth. Something wasn't right. Chrissy had been distant, cold, silent in ways that spoke louder than anger. Jim rubbed his face and muttered, "Man, what is happening to us?" Before he could continue the thought, his phone buzzed. Not once, not twice, multiple times. His notifications exploded like a bomb going off. At first he ignored it. Then one message came through from an old friend. "Bro, you see this? Please tell me this ain't Chrissy." Jim frowned, grabbed the phone, and opened the message. There was a blurry picture attached. It looked like a hotel hallway security screenshot. Two silhouettes entering a room. One of them looked like Chrissy. The other, the hat, the build, the posture, it looked exactly like 50 Cent. Jim's heart skipped. His throat tightened. What the hell is this? He zoomed in, shaky, pixelated, but the shapes were unmistakable. Chrissy and Odd, entering the same hotel room. Together, Jim blinked hard, thinking maybe the studio lights were making him see it wrong. He rubbed the screen with his sleeve. Looked again. Same image. Same figures. Same nightmare. He whispered, "No. No way she would do this. Not with him." Like the universe wanted to torture him further, another notification popped up. This one wasn't a picture. It was a video. Jim hesitated, thumb shaking. Then he pressed play. It was grainy, probably taken from across the lobby. The camera zoomed in. Chrissy walked in wearing the same jacket she wore that morning. 50 Cent walked beside her, head down, hoodie up. They whispered something. Then both stepped inside a private elevator. Alone. The video ended. Jim froze. Not angry. Not yelling. Just silent. That dangerous kind of silent where a man's soul leaves his body for a moment. He sat back in the studio chair, staring at the wall like he'd been shot. Cut 2. Chrissy earlier that night, flashback to 7 hours before the leak. Chrissy walked through the lobby of a luxury midtown hotel, her heels tapping softly on the marble floor. Her face was calm, maybe too calm. She had tied her hair back, wore oversized sunglasses, and kept her hood up as if she didn't want attention. And she wasn't alone. Beside her walked 50 Cent. He looked collected, businesslike, not smiling, not touching her, just walking beside her like they were handling something serious. They moved quickly, talking in low voices, staying close, but not intimate. Chrissy whispered, "Let's keep this quiet. You already know he can't see us together." Warsher smirked. "I didn't ask for the spotlight. You came to me." Chrissy exhaled, annoyed. "I just needed clarity. Needed somebody not in my circle." Wushay nodded. "Then let's go talk upstairs." No noise, no drama. The elevator doors opened. Both stepped inside. Then the doors shut. Whoever recorded the video caught the frame at the exact moment the doors closed, turning their private conversation into a public storm. Back to present, Jim Jones' world falls apart. Jim's hands trembled as he replayed the clip. Once, twice, a third time. Each time his chest felt tighter. He wasn't the yelling type. Not at first. When Jim hurt, he got quiet, dangerously quiet. He stared at the phone until the edges of the screen blurred. Then he whispered one sentence, "Chrissy, what did you do?" His friend Duke walked into the studio laughing about something until he saw Jim's face. "Yo, bro, you good?" Jim didn't answer. Duke walked closer and saw the video on his screen. "Oh, damn." He stepped back. "Bro, is that Chrissy?" Jim shut his eyes. His voice was heavy. People already sending it. Already talking. Already making it something it might not even be. But look at it, man. Look at it. Duke leaned closer, jaw clenched. Why she with him, though? His voice had the same disbelief everyone shared. Jim whispered, "That's what I'm trying to understand." The internet erupts within minutes. The rumor had detonated across social media. Chrissy spotted with 50 Cent at hotel. Jim Jones' girl spending the night with his own op. 50 Cent strikes again. Video leaked. Fans shocked. Memes, tweets, blog posts, reactions. Jim's name started trending. Chrissy's name exploded. In 50 Cent's name, that one went straight to the top of every timeline. It wasn't confirmed if they stayed the night. Was it business? Was it private? Was it something else? Nobody knew. Nobody cared. The internet had already decided the narrative. And Jim Jones? He couldn't show his face online, couldn't call anyone, couldn't even breathe properly. He whispered to himself, "How did she let this happen?" Chrissy's phone starts vibrating nonstop back in the hotel elevator. Chrissy hadn't seen the video yet. She hadn't seen the messages. Her phone was buried in her purse. But the moment she stepped out of the elevator onto the upper floor, her phone started buzzing like it was possessed. Dozens of notifications, hundreds of messages, calls from friends, calls from bloggers, calls from numbers she didn't even recognize. She froze in the hallway. 50 glanced at her. "You okay?" Chrissy's heart dropped as she opened her phone. The picture, the video, the trending hashtags. Her eyes widened. No, 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 this can't be happening. She grabbed the wall for balance, breathing fast. 50 stepped closer, keeping his voice low and steady. "Relax. People make stories out of nothing every day." Chrissy glared. "This isn't nothing. This looks bad, 50. You know exactly what people are going to say." 50 crossed his arms. "And you know what you came here for." Don T flipped now. Chrissy shut her eyes. "I came here to talk about life, about business, about taking control, not to have the world think I'm cheating on Jim." 50 shook his head. "People will believe what they want to believe. Let them." Chrissy's voice cracked. "But he's going to see this. Jim is going to see this." 50 looked at her carefully. "He already has." Back to Jim. Betrayal sets in. Jim grabbed his coat and stormed out of the studio. Duke tried to stop him. "Bro, where are you going?" Jim didn't answer. He just muttered under his breath, "I need to hear it from her, face to face." He slammed the door behind him. Outside, the cold air hit him, but it didn't calm him. He wasn't angry. He was hurt. A different kind of hurt, that type that shakes a man's whole identity. Jim had stood by Chrissy for years. Through drama, through arguments, through the public eye. He had fought for her, protected her, loved her openly. And now this. With 50 Cent, of all people, Jim whispered as he walked, "If this is real, my whole world just ended." The sun hadn't even fully risen over New York, yet the entire city felt awake. Something electric, unsettling, buzzing beneath the surface. News traveled fast in this city, and scandals traveled even faster. Inside his living room, Jim Jones sat in silence. His elbows rested on his knees, hands clasped against his mouth, as locked on the paused screenshots still glowing on the TV. Chrissy, 50 Cent, the hotel hallway, the whispered laugh, the smirk, the hand on her back. It didn't matter that the footage didn't show anything explicit. It didn't matter that it was only 10 seconds long. What mattered was the world had already decided what happened. Jim didn't blame them. His chest tightened. He replayed the clip again, and again, and again. Every time he watched it, something inside him cracked a little more. At first, he tried to convince himself it meant nothing. Maybe Chrissy was drunk. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe. But the wrestling match in his mind always ended the same. Why were they at a hotel? Why at night? Why alone? He rubbed his face hard, trying to ground himself, but nothing helped. The betrayal, real or not, was eating him alive. "Damn, Chrissy," he whispered, voice barely audible. "How could you let it look like this?" His phone vibrated nonstop beside him, lighting up every few seconds. Fans, blogs, industry friends, paparazzi, producers, even old rivals. Everyone wanted a statement. Everyone wanted reactions. Everyone wanted chaos. He ignored them all until his manager called. Jim stared at the screen for a long moment before finally answering. "Jim," his manager said, voice tense, "we gotta talk. Right now." "I ain't in the mood," Jim muttered. "I know you're not. But the internet is blowing up. This ain't small. Every outlet is running the story. You trending in 50 states, man? And not in a good way." Jim leaned back, staring at the ceiling as if it contained answers. "I don't care about the internet. I'm not talking about memes, Jim. I'm talking about your reputation, your career, your image. You look," the manager hesitated, "you look like you got played." The words stung like a blade. Jim clenched his jaw. "Say it again?" "I'm trying to help you. Right now, you look betrayed, blindsided, weak. Watch your mouth. Then fix the situation. Get Chrissy to talk. Get ahead of the story. Say something, anything." Jim closed his eyes. His voice dropped, low and painful. "I don't even know what to say yet." The manager sighed. "Then figure it out fast. Because trust me, 50 Cent will say something. And when he does, it's over." Jim hung up without a reply. He didn't need the warning. He knew 50 Cent's reputation. If there was an opportunity to troll, humiliate, provoke, or pour gasoline on a fire, 50 would do it. And he would do it loudly. Jim stood up and began pacing the room, breathing sharply through his nose. He could picture the headlines already. 50 Cent clowns Jim Jones over Chrissy hotel scandal, 50 trolls again. I took your girl. Love and hip-hop star humiliated. He shook his head violently. No, he wasn't going to let that happen. Not again. Not this time. But his thoughts kept drifting back to Chrissy. Where was she? Why hadn't she called? Why hadn't she explained anything? He looked at his phone again. No messages. Nothing from her. Not even a good morning. Not even a "we need to talk." Silence. The kind of silence that hurt more than any headline. He texted her, "Where are you?" "We need to talk." "Call me." No response. The longer she stayed quiet, the louder the world felt. Tweets, blogs, videos, edits, memes, everything crashing into each other in a hurricane of noise. In another part of the city, Chrissy sat in a makeup room with her hands shaking. She had been crying, her eyes red, breath uneven. She kept wiping her phone screen with her sleeve, trying to clean nothing but her own reflection. She wasn't crying because she felt guilty. She was crying because she didn't know how to fix this, because she hadn't expected the video to blow up, because she never meant for this to become a war, and because, deep inside, she knew Jim was hurting in a way he didn't deserve. Her best friend Tasha sat beside her, trying to calm her down. "Chrissy, listen to me. You need to talk to him. He's dying inside." Chrissy shook her head, voice cracking. "I can't call him right now. The whole world thinks that I slept with 50. The comments, the blogs, the hate. I don't even know how to breathe right now." Tasha grabbed her shoulders. "But you didn't sleep with him." Chrissy's silence was long, too long. Tasha's eyes slowly widened. "Chrissy?" Chrissy looked away, guilt written all over her face. "Tasha," she whispered, "we didn't. But I wasn't innocent either. You need to be honest with Jim." "I know," Chrissy said, tears falling again. "I know, I don't want to lose him." Tasha exhaled sharply. "Honey, you already losing him by staying silent." Chrissy covered her face with both hands. Meanwhile, back at Jim's place, his phone finally buzzed. A notification from Instagram. 50 Cent posted a new video. Jim's stomach dropped. He opened the post slowly, praying it wasn't what he thought. It was worse. 50 Cent appeared on camera in a hotel hallway, the same hallway from the leaked footage, laughing directly into the lens. "Y'all know I don't start trouble, but trouble definitely started itself this time." He smirked. "Why everybody acting shocked?" "I'm irresistible." asked Chrissy. The comments exploded instantly. Jim froze. His blood boiled. His vision blurred with rage. The world was laughing. 50 was laughing. His enemies were laughing. His fans were confused. His relationship was dangling by a thread. This was no longer a misunderstanding. This was war. He threw his phone across the room. It hit the wall and shattered. And for the first time in years, Jim Jones felt defeated, not because of the video, not because of the humiliation, not even because of 50. He felt defeated because the one person he trusted most in the world left him alone when he needed her the most. Jim Jones stood in the middle of his living room, chest rising and falling like a man trying to hold back an explosion. The shattered pieces of his phone lay on the hardwood floor, glittering under the morning light like sharp reminders of how quickly everything had broken. His hands were shaken not from fear, but from rage. 50 Cent's video replayed in his mind again and again, each smirk, each joke, each taunt, digging deeper into his pride. And still, no word from Chrissy. He grabbed his jacket and headed for the door. He couldn't sit here. Not when the world was clowning him. Not when he didn't even know the truth. He needed answers. He needed them now. He slammed the door behind him. Meanwhile, Chrissy finally makes a decision. Chrissy wiped her face again, breathing unevenly. She had been silent for too long. The storm had grown too big, and she knew every second she avoided Jim made her look guiltier. Her friend Tasha grabbed her bag. "You ready?" "You can't hide forever," Chrissy nodded slowly. "I'm going to him. I have to." But when they stepped into the hallway, paparazzi were already waiting. "Chrissy, did you cheat on Jim with 50 Cent? Is the hotel video real? Are you leaving Jim? Did you spend the night with 50? Camera flashes attacked her from all directions. Voices shouted over each other. Microphones shoved toward her face. Chrissy froze, overwhelmed, terrified. Tasha pulled her forward. "Don't talk. Just move." They pushed through the crowd, getting to the car as fast as possible. But Chrissy's hands were trembling the entire time. Her heart wasn't breaking because of the cameras. It was breaking because she knew what she had to tell Jim. And she didn't know if he would survive hearing it. Jim arrives at the studio. Jim stormed into the music studio where Chrissy usually worked. Producers, assistants, and makeup artists looked up the moment he walked in. Everyone felt the tension before he said a word. "Where is she?" Jim demanded. A makeup artist stuttered as she left 20 minutes ago. She said she was going home. Jim didn't say thank you, didn't nod, didn't breathe. He just turned and walked out again. On the road to opposite emotions, Chrissy and Tasha drove through traffic, trying to reach the apartment. Meanwhile, Jim was already on the highway, speeding toward home too, but fueled by anger, humiliation, and desperation. 2 cars, same destination. 2 hearts racing for completely different reasons. If fate wanted drama, it was getting all of it. Back at the apartment, Jim arrived first. The place was quiet, too normal for the kind of madness happening outside. He walked through the living room slowly, every step heavy. Memories hit him like punches. Chrissy laughing on the couch. Chrissy cooking in the kitchen. Chrissy sleeping with her head on his chest. He pressed his hand against his forehead. "Don't break," he whispered to himself. Not yet. He sat down on the edge of the bed. His thoughts spiraled. Did she betray me? Did she choose him? Was everything a lie? Then something on the dresser caught his eye. A bracelet. The same bracelet he gave her on their anniversary. She wore it every day. But today, she had left it behind. His breath hitched. She wouldn't leave this unless she felt guilty, unless she knew she owed him answers, unless she knew she hurt him. Jim felt his chest tighten again, and then he heard the sound of keys at the door. Chrissy walks in. Chrissy entered slowly, her face pale, eyes swollen from crying. Tasha remained behind her, giving her a gentle push. "Go," she whispered. "He needs to hear it from you." The moment Chrissy stepped inside, she felt Jim's presence like a weight in the air. She saw him sitting on the bed. He looked up at her. And for a moment, just a moment, the world stopped. She had never seen him look like this. Not angry. Not yelling. Just broken. Chrissy took one small step forward. "Jim," I healed up his hand sharply. "Don't lie to me." Her lips trembled. I'm not here to lie. Good, Jim said coldly. Because right now, I don't even know who you are. Tasha quietly retreated, closing the door behind her. Now it was just them. The couple the world thought was unbreakable, standing in the ruins of everything. Jim begins the questions. Jim stood up slowly, walking toward her. Where were you that night? His voice was low, dangerous. Chrissy swallowed hard. I told you, I had a meeting. Don't do that, Jim shouted suddenly. The walls shook with the force of it. Chrissy flinched. Jim took a breath, trying to control himself. I saw the video. I saw you with him. You told me you were going home. Why were you at a hotel with 50? Chrissy couldn't look him in the eyes. That night wasn't supposed to happen like that, she whispered. That night, Jim repeated, voice breaking. So it did happen. Chrissy's silence was the answer he feared. The truth starts to unravel. Chrissy took another shaky breath. Jim, it wasn't planned. I didn't go there for him. Then why were you with him? Jim demanded. She hesitated. Because she knew, once she said the truth, she couldn't take it back. We ran into each other earlier that night, she said softly. We talked. Just talked. About business. About old issues. Jim's eyes narrowed. Old issues. You got old issues with 50 now? Chrissy's voice cracked. He apologized for the past. For the trolling. For the beef. He said he wanted to make peace. Jim stared at her. You believed him, Jim? You know 50? He's messy, but he's not heartless. That night he was. Don't defend him. Chrissy wiped her tears. He offered me a drink. We talked more. And when I was leaving, I needed a ride and what? Jim whispered, stepping closer. Chrissy closed her eyes. He said he had a suite nearby. He said I could wait there until my driver came. Jim's jaw clenched so hard his teeth hurt. So you went to his room. Chrissy didn't answer. So, you went to his room. Yes, she finally whispered. Jim stepped back, as if the words physically pushed him. The pain hits hard. Jim sat down slowly, staring at the floor. Chrissy, do you know what that video did to me? What his post did to me? What the whole world is saying? His voice broke mid-sentence. Chrissy knelt in front of him. Jim, nothing happened? I swear. I didn't cheat on you. Then why did you leave your bracelet behind? Jim asked, lifting it from the dresser with shaking hands. Chrissy froze. She hadn't realized he saw it. I took it off in the car earlier. I didn't want people photographing it. Jim looked at her sharply. Are you telling the truth? Yes, she whispered. I swear. For a moment. Are you telling the truth? Yes, she whispered. I swear. For a moment,